Welcome. We got us a new coach. And Boss Cowboy gonna break it down. I ain't gonna play with you. Because Brian Schottenheimer is a fit. A lot of Cowboy Nation is upset. And I understand. I'm not even here to try to make people feel better. That's not my goal. My goal is just to go present the research that I've done. I feel confident in the research. And I also understand the anger. I really do. So it's a lot of people don't get this or feel bad. I honestly know that this is a good thing. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys got lucky. I really do. I swear to God. It obviously started bad, started weird, right? Just the announcement of Brian Schottenheimer came at the worst time as a candidate. It came after Washington and Philly made the NFC championship. I think a lot of the anger is stemming from the feelings from that, and I understand that. I'm also certain that as he begins to present himself to the Cowboy Nation, I believe that we're going to turn. I've seen this many times. I want people to imagine this like a draft, because that's kind of what's going on. It's like the draft, where you have your eyes on certain candidates and you have your mind made up that candidate, that player is going to make the difference. And then you see the Dallas Cowboys go in a direction that you didn't see coming. And it's particularly a player that maybe you didn't research. I've done this before many times, to where they pass on a guy that I believed in for a guy that they believe in. And my emotions is turned up. It's because I believed in my pet cat, Ben Johnson. I believed in my pet cat, Deion Sanders. I believed in it. So it's the emotions of what you honestly feel from the bottom of your heart was going to turn us in the right direction, and they go in another direction. A prime example of when that happened to me was the pick of Dalton Schultz. I hated the pick. I shot him down for about two years straight. And he turned the corner. He did. He became a great asset, and he ended up being a really, really good fit for Kellen Moore's option route system. And then that was a lesson to me. It's like, what you swore was horrible ended up working out. So I'm gonna spend some time on this. I'm gonna explain why it's good. And that's kind of funny coming from me, because I'm usually the person that's bringing the bad news. I'm usually the one that's telling people, look out for this, look out for that, look out for this. So it actually feels good this time to be on the side of good news. So y'all sit back, man. I'll be right back. Let's go. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. We all right. Come on now. We all right. We getting lucky, man. I mean it. I wouldn't bull crappy. I wouldn't play with you. I love y'all too much. All right, let's get it. All right, let's get it. All right, let's get it. All right, so obviously, you know, the news of Brian Schottenheimer is catching a lot of people off guard. It's a lot of people very upset. I want to kind of show you real quick. We go just kind of go through it. Y'all give me a second to pull it up. I got it right here. Here we go. So first of all, I want y'all to notice that it was a Friday night news dump. When companies and media companies want to kind of make a story kind of go away, one of the best ways to do that is to dump it on a Friday. and they dumped this on a Friday night. So this is an indication that they made this decision knowing that we wasn't gonna like it. They was already basically reading the tea leaves, and they could tell this was not popular. So that's why you got this dump on Friday, because they want to get it out the way. And so if you go look at the comments, oh my, ooh, let's go look at this. Ooh. If you go look at the comments, so you see Tom down, and he's like, no, right? And you see replies gonna be tough here, and they was. And then Matt Owens, I'm just here so I don't get fined. And then how we feeling? Then look, F you. Somebody got a gun to the. And then somebody say, as a Cowboy fan, it doesn't matter who the coach is. Dak is the problem. Get rid of Dak and we got a shot. Oh, look at this. This dude, Jason. Been a fan for 30 years, even named my son Landry. This might be the breaking point. God. Despicable. Right? And I'm going to tell y'all, to me, this particular screenshot that's going around, it's one of the most deceptive things going around, man. It's what Mike Marcus is talking about, where he said he hate analytics because it tells you the what and not the why. And then Eric say, what are we doing here? 51 years. And then looks like Jerry got him another yes man. You know. So you can clearly see, look, excellent between him and Dak. We should get a lot of high draft picks over the next few years. It said, I speak for every Cowboys fan. We all hate Jerry. Nobody wanted this. And that's just not true. So this is the thing. I've been talking about Brian Schottenheimer before he was even announced as a candidate. That's how you should know that, especially me, I'm not talking about this because I'm trying to make you feel better. If I had this opinion before it was even announced that he was a candidate, then that means I already believed in. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's important, right? Because then that should give you some hope that when I'm talking to you, I'm talking about football reasons. So I'm going to kind of break that down on why he's a perfect fit, actually. So let me just play this. Be honest, man. I don't know why more of us are not talking about Brian Schottenheimer. I said this today, and I stand by this. Based on where the league is going, I would rather have Brian Schottenheimer. See, the reason why I said it, because notice I said based on where the league is going. That's the key. Is I said based on where the league is going. And so anybody that been following the content over here know that we already prove that the NFL is heavily a Russian league. What they're doing is they're attacking too high safety, which increased. And I asked before, what would you do if a defense was running a lot of too high safety, where you definitely can't have a big box, you can't have a stacked box, right? Everybody here was like, well, that's giving an invitation to run the ball. And I was saying that basically teams are trying to take away the pass so aggressively that they basically was daring teams to run. On top of that, Mike Martz talked about how the NFL linebackers over the last 10 years have gotten smaller. And see, when you know that these linebackers have gotten smaller, that's really why the run game has been working greatly across the league. So some of y'all need to go watch this particular show that I just did. I did it last week, where I said Brian Schottenheimer is a fit to the modern NFL. And that's where I was talking and proving the trends of the current NFL of why the running game is working so good. So then when you know Brian Schottenheimer is a coach who knows how to change gears. He can throw it, but he prefers to establish the run game. So first of all, let me play this by my boy J Tuck so we can get a feel for his identity. This actually came from J Tuck already did a great video, right? Did an excellent video. I got the link in the description. I want everybody to go support it and just do your research so that you don't be that type of person that's just angry because you don't know the draft pick. Now, I said draft pick because that happens to us. We fall in love with a certain candidate, right? And then when we fall in love with that candidate and they draft somebody else, we get mad, you know? So listen to this and then we go talk about it.
I think the biggest thing with the running game, obviously, is it starts with the guys up front. You know, that mindset, the physical mindset, the ability where, hey, we're going to control the line of scrimmage. That's easier said than done. It's easy to have that.
See, I'm showing this so you can get an idea of who you're dealing with. You can start getting the core of his philosophies. Because let me say this real quick about him. Usually, sometimes you can be OC by title, but you really not OC in terms of you really influencing what you want. So when he was on and this is why a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people don't like him because they don't see him as change. They think he's Mike McCarthy too, and he's not. Mike McCarthy was pass happy. Mike McCarthy didn't have a change in gears. Even when the run game, like in the Bengals game, was averaging 7 yards on the ground with Rico, he abandoned it. Even when he was averaging 5 a pop with San Fran, with Zeke, he abandoned it. Even when he was averaging 6.5 in Atlanta, he abandoned it. They announced Eberflus as DC. Oh, wow. It's moving fast. God, dog. So I'm going to talk about that too. God, dog.
Mentality. I think a big part of it, obviously, is getting a guy like Mike Solari to come here and coach the offensive line. A lot of respect for Mike. He was with my father for a number of years. I coached with him for a year.
Now, that's where he's going to be under pressure. Because right now, obviously, Mike Solari, Cowboy Nation done with him. Can I give y'all an unpopular opinion? If I give you this unpopular opinion, are you gonna be mad at me? Are you gonna be mad at me if I give you an opinion that a lot of people probably don't agree with? I've been thinking about Mike Solari, right? And I'm gonna need my offensive line people. The OC gonna be in here in about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna talk to him. But I need my offensive line people to talk to me. I need to talk to Lou. I need to talk to Vach. I need to talk to my offensive line people, my content creators and people and Coach Q. Coach Marv. I need to talk to my offensive line people. The reason being because I remember, like, for instance, Coach Marv, he was one of the first people to say, man, Awesome Rich is gonna have something to say about that left tackle. Now, when he said that, everybody was like,
oh, hell no.
But he was right. And my point is, remember, it was Mike Solari that before the season started was saying he had some issues with starting them rookies off so fast. Y'all remember that? But then Jerry and Steven was saying the opposite. They were saying them boys getting ready to start, they gotta play. So, and then remember, when did our run game get a chance? Listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. When did our run game get a chance in this preparation? Because what did we do in preseason? Think about it. What did we do? What was that whole preseason about? Think about it. What was that preseason about? Think about it. That preseason was about Trey Lance. Featuring Trey Lance to try to put pressure on Dak. They wanted Trey Lance to look amazing. They went out there and he averaged 38 pass attempts in preseason. The last preseason game, he threw the ball almost 60 times. Let me ask y'all a question. How does your offensive line get run fits and practice together if they not working on it? Then what happened? Mike McCarthy came out during the season. Yes! Wait, Big Santana, don't play with me. Don't play with me, Big Santana. Ooh, wait, hold on real quick. Wait. Stuff breaking too fast, y'all. Y'all, hold on, wait. I can't keep up with this. Ooh. Okay. Whew. Listen. Whew. My boy Big Santana said, he said, Jane just reported no Eberflus yet and Whit not on staff. Woo-wee. Woo-wee. And see, my boy Lou in here. And I asked this question. Now, Lou is one of the best offensive linemen mind in our space. For sure. Right? So I'm serious when I'm asking this, Lou. I said, when do they get that work? When did they get that work? And my boy Lou say they don't. So our offensive line never got the work that they needed in preseason because you was featuring Trey Lance. Then Mike McCarthy started off pass happy, so they never got that work. So when did they finally get the work? And what does that do for Mike Solari? So, you know, I'm just kind of slowing down on the hit job on Mike Solari. I'm just kind of taking a pause. Like, it's like I see what happened, but it's also about why did it happen? You know what I mean? So, because we also started to see this. Lou tell me if I'm crazy. Lou would tell me if I'm tripping. He would speak his mind. Lou like that. Lou, when they started to work on the run game, did they get better? When we started to get them attempts ups, did we get better? All right. So anyway, let me go back because we talking about a head coach right now.
The stable of backs that we have here is exciting. But when you emphasize things in coaching, you normally get results. And that's just something that we've talked about from the very beginning when I first started talking to Pete, was that was going to be something that you got to have the ability to run the football when people know you're going to run the football.
Y'all hear that? Again, I got this from my boy Jay Tuck. He did the research on this and he found this, which is a perfect video that explains his thinking, which is totally opposite and the opposite of what we saw with Mike McCarthy. So anybody that was run the ball, we need to run the ball. We want to take advantage of these itty bitty linebackers, this 2-hour safety trend. We want to take advantage. We want to do like the other teams are able to do. This is also why he makes sense now. Because hold on, let me go pull this real quick. Because I want people to really understand where I'm coming from. It's going to be a little bit of an awkward silence because I didn't expect to pull this. I got to find something. Y'all just give me 1 second to pull up something real quick. I just need to be able to pull my receipt. Okay, here it is. So y'all listen to this. We go talk about it. And this is all about why. And I want people to have confidence, because when I look at people reasons for why they don't like him, it's a lot of stuff that got to do with feelings. We needed optimism. We needed hope. What's the football reasons? Not the marketing reasons, not the fan reasons. What's the football reasons? So y'all listen to this. This was Mike Martz from 2 years ago.
I just think that the guys that adjust the best as play callers during the game that can change gears, those are the really great ones.
And that's what we also have with Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer is somebody that can go vertical, but he also can change gears and slow the game down. That's what we, in my opinion, didn't have with Mike McCarthy. He had one gear. And then, like Coach Marv used to always say, the moment a team, he called it blowing up. Coach called it blowing up. So basically they hit you back. The moment they hit you back, you say, let me go with what I'm comfortable with. Let's start throwing it at the perimeter.
Coach, how would you approach the running game in today's NFL?
Very important question. Remember this from 2 years ago.
Well, I think they've done a really good job of spreading things out. The one thing that I do know is I watch the draft and everything over the last 10 years.
Notice he said, I've been watching the draft over the last 10 years.
Those linebackers have gotten smaller, looking at more athletic guys.
So don't trust me. Listen to Mike Martz, who was the offensive play caller for, or head coach for the show on turf, which broke a record in production. Now, this guy who had one of the fastest high-octane offenses to ever grace the NFL was talking about, in today's NFL, I would slow it down. Basically, I would go from fast, how I used to be, I would shift those gears to physical. And he said I would do it based on the league and how in 10 years the linebackers has shrunk. Why did that happen? Because they was trying to keep up with the passing league.
Years, those linebackers have gotten smaller, looking at more athletic guys. We used to put a big 280, 290-pound tight end back there at fullback and do some lead stuff, and I promise you I would do that. Just go and splatter those guys and come downhill as much as you can with it, because they're just not prepared for it. Guys, the defenses, there's too many system type things and not enough details.
See, notice he said it's too much system type things. See, a lot of y'all still don't understand why we didn't want Kellen Moore. Some of y'all think we hating on Kellen Moore, and y'all not paying attention to what I've been saying in detail. His no identity system, which had multiple option routes and aggressive option routes, required too much from his receivers, even more than his quarterback, right? Because in his system, he had multiple weapons that had to read the defense on an NFL quarterback level. And so Dak had to throw the ball not just with anticipation, but crazy amount of anticipation, because he had to throw it at a spot, trusting that the receivers are going to read the defense like he reading the defense and see what he's seeing. And see, that's what Mike Martz is talking about. He said it's too much systems type stuff now. So in other words, too many coaches and head coaches and owners was looking for ways to get the young, cheap guy where I can get a system to go against better athletes. He said that's too much of that right now. He's talking about people like Kelly Moore. That's what he's talking about. And that's why I didn't want him. You know, because it's like now when it get down and dirty, just like what the playmaker said, where it's going to be about now, this competition is too tight. I can't depend on your brain. I got to depend on my athletes right now. I can't depend on your ability to scheme. I got to depend on my guys' ability to win. That's why his system would let you down. Like, it would do good. Like, if you had a static defense, he would murder you, right? Or if you was a D coordinator that didn't show a bunch of looks, his system would be so ahead of you that he would be able to move the chains with ease. But if he went against a defensive coordinator that know how to show pre-snap disguises, that could confuse your weapons. So now Dak is throwing at spots, trusting you to be there, you not there because you misread the defense. That's because of him. You know, so that's what Mike and that this I'm showing y'all this so everybody can have a good understanding of why Brian is a fit. He fits not only the Cowboys, he also fits the timing of the NFL. Now, the reason why it's important on what Mike Martz said, right? The reason why it's important on what Mike Martz said is because, remember, he said it took about 10 years for the current personnel across the league and those linebackers to shrink. So that means now that teams are now attacking that mismatch with run aggression, what that means is it's going to take a little while for it to flip. It's gonna take a while for it to flip. And so my boy, somebody named Awake say, a fit? Yes, a fit. Yes, a fit. I want y'all to really listen. Try to hear me out. Really try not to be in your emotions right now. I want y'all to really listen to what I'm saying. He's a fit to the current NFL, which makes him a fit to the Dallas Cowboys. It's just that simple. It's where I was saying on the last show, what's old is new and what's new is old. Because at first, the run game was treated like, that's old. And if you listen close, a lot of people still disrespect the run game. They still disrespect it. You know what I'm saying? They still like, that's old, ancient. And that's how they describe the run game. Not recognizing that there's a window right now that you can seize. You can seize this window to where teams are going to have to replenish themselves with the proper linebackers that can counter this onslaught of run attacks. That's why I said, if you're a betting man, bet that these linebacker prices is getting ready to increase. D tackles too. Anything involved with run stopping, their value is getting ready to decrease because the demand for them is getting ready to increase. So as demand increases, prices increase. That's economics. Yeah. So I'm just trying to explain to everybody because like, it's obvious, like when you go look at the comments, man, and listen, man, I'm not mad at people for having these type of emotions. It's, you know, I'm not going to be standing over people when Brian end up being a good coach. I think he gonna be the type of coach that's gonna win about 10 to 12 games a year. I think it's gonna happen more so because he understands and already has a philosophy to protect the defense by being balanced. A balanced team. So basically, let me try to put it in a nutshell. Those of us who've been saying, I want y'all to run that Cooper Rush offense with Dak. You getting ready to see it. So the reason Cooper Rush was winning games is because, and the reason why his defense was playing so much better is because every time he the quarterback, what do? They slow the game down. They run the ball more. They attempt to have more balance. So what does that do? That allows your pass rush to get after teams. They not out there tired. See, when it's Dak, what do? They throw the ball a lot. They look to Dak to bail them out of bad situations. So if Dak is off, or the offensive is off, you also putting a lot of pressure on your defense. So under Brian, just with him and his his philosophy, and the fact that he fits the new modern NFL, the Dallas Cowboys is getting ready to be good. And more so because you got the head coach who is now a true believer in running the ball and balance. So we got us a couple of super chats real quick. Let me get to these super chats, man. I appreciate y'all. Let's get it. Let me get to these super chats real quick because y'all starting to stack them up. And then I'm going to get on the phone lines. I'm going to wait on the OC. The OC said he getting ready to come in. So y'all can hear from everybody. We got West Coast in the building. What's up, West? Shout out to my boy, West. Been thinking about you lately. One thing about West, man. West was about 4 years early on the trend of the NFL. And West don't get enough credit. He don't get enough credit. He don't get enough credit. When I go look up and I see Philly saying run a damn ball. And when I look up and I see the Chargers saying run a damn ball. And I look up, and the most exciting game so far in the playoffs was because they was running on first down. West Coast. So, it was some people mad at West Coast because he was talking about his belief in Kellen Moore recently, after being obviously somebody that was a top shooter against Kellen Moore. And so I told one of these dudes, I said, listen, it's one thing I know about him from doing content with him for years. Sometimes he be way ahead, way ahead, and you gotta give him a chance, hear him out. That's one thing I learned about him. I'm kind of like that too, where I be so ahead sometimes, and this ain't like saying that me and him are just like way better than anybody. I'm just trying to explain how people can miss people like him and miss people like me, right? He was just seeing it way faster than everybody. He was 4 years ahead of this trend. And you know, and he don't get enough credit for it. He don't. So when he come in, especially seeing where we are and seeing the type of coach we just got, Y'all need to clap it up for that dude. For real. That's just right. It's just right. He was the leader of the run a damn ball campaign. It's just right to clap it up. Come on, bud. Come on. Come on, one more. So, Wes, I appreciate your leadership in the space. Stay encouraged. The nation needs your mind. All right. I forgot where I was going, bro. That threw me off. Man, where was I going? I think I was more so kind of showing y'all why Brian was a fit. But listen, he's a fit. Oh, I was taking the super chats. That's why this music playing. Trick. I was like, what was I doing? Yeah, no doubt, Wes. For real. So here we go. So let me get to these super chats, man. And if y'all got some more, we always appreciate super chats. I love this super chat right. He said, can we get Genty a second running back in the 3rd or 5th round? I love it. I love it. I think this is the draft you could double dip. Like, and I said this on Twitter, man. You know, there's some good news about these coaches fleeing Dallas. It's putting pressure on them to likely have to be aggressive. Because now we gonna need optimism. We gonna need optimism. So my boy Chris 214 said, in your opinion, boss, how does this affect the draft? Damn, I was just talking about that. Y'all always ahead of me, man. That'd be so funny. Yeah. Brian Schottenheimer affects the draft because if you look at his track record, he also was that guy that would draft a running back in the 1st round when it wasn't popular. So what did he do in Seattle, Chris? Who did he get to try to establish the run? Penny. Y'all remember that? So for those of us who high on Genty, that makes that more likely. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. So I'm expecting flash this draft, to answer your question. I'm expecting flash. I'm not expecting responsible. See, Mozzie, that was responsible. Tyler Smith, that was responsible. Tyler Guyton, that was responsible. Hold on, Angie, they getting me on the likes? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Maybe y'all not liking what I'm saying because people mad. Maybe it's because, listen, they dumped this on Friday, man. That's a clear indication they don't believe that they knew that we weren't gonna take this good. They dumped this Friday night. Chill said it earlier. So listen, y'all. You might not like what I'm saying, but I'm telling you the truth. I know a lot of people want to hear this was trash. We headed to the abyss. Like one of them people said, oh man, this is the worst day since Tom Landry. I don't mean to laugh, but it's not. I just don't see it like that. Yeah, and I agree with you, man. I think we should double dip at running back. I think we should. I think this is now about, in my opinion, getting Shoddy what he needs. Get Shoddy what he needs. Get him them backs. And give him, cause see, don't forget. See, one of the main things that also helped Russell Wilson was DK Metcalf. See, I got my own at Savion Williams. That's who I got, and Trey Harris. Them two. Ooh, I got. Yeah. See, I want Flash Give me the flash. I'm tired of eating my broccoli and my okra. I've been drinking my water. Sometimes you gotta have a cheat day. This is cheat day for us. It's time to go out to get your fried chicken, get your ice cream, make a float. It's cheat day. So to answer your question, Chris, what we go do on the draft? It's time for flash. Up and down. I don't want. Listen, I hate the fact that right now I've been looking at offensive linemen. I hate it. I'm only looking at these offensive linemen because I have to be thorough. That's it. But if I could, I wouldn't be looking at not a single trench player except for defensive tackle. That's it. So anyway, we'll get my last super chat. Then I'm gonna get on the phone and then check on the OC. So, let me see. He said, I listened to your podcast about Kellen Moore. He's bad news. Huh. Yeah, man. And I really want people to give it a chance, man. I'm glad you gave it a chance. A lot of people think I be hating on Kellen Moore. Like, man, y'all just ain't listen to my content, man. Like, if you go judge me on Kellen Moore, at least really understand what I'm saying. I think that's fair to me. Don't just, oh man, I don't get the hate. Nah, don't put hate on my name, brother. Nah, ain't no hate. It's research. All right. So let me get these phones going real quick, and then I'm gonna check on the OC because he said he gonna be in here a little bit after 10, and then I'm gonna give y'all some more stuff on Brian. But I want to hear from y'all real quick. Let me set up my phones. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second, man. Set up these phones. Y'all be patient. Whew, man. One of them days, y'all. You feel me? Good day though. We gonna talk about evil flus. We gonna talk about all that. All right, so I got the phone set up now. Y'all give me a second. We got lucky, y'all. We did. And you can trust me. You can trust me. We got lucky. This was lucky by the Dallas Cowboys. This is all luck. They stumbled into a very good thing with Brian Schottenheimer. Yep. All right, so we got the phones going. All right, here we go. Let's get it.
Pollen paper got them talking nice to me. Down the bottle, it be going right through me. Brown baby down to take a flight to me. They think that I'm stunting, but it's slight to me. Pollen paper got them talking nice to me. Guess that's why the labels want the rights to me. CD on my back and it feel light to me. They think that I'm stunting, but it's slight to me.
My boy say failing upwards. Yeah, that's true. I think that's the perfect way to say it, Dono. Failing upwards. Shout out to CFT, man. My boy CFT with the CFT raid. Appreciate it, man. And listen, man, CFT, bro, solid dude, bro. Solid. Humble. Good guy. You know what I'm saying? Look up to him greatly, man. We got a fantastic community. So we got us a full room. We already got like 6 people up in here, man. So y'all be courteous. Now we got 8. So I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna lock the phones. So y'all be courteous of one another because we got a lot of y'all today, okay? So let's start with Pastor Taff. Pastor Taff.
What's good, boss?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Here's the only thing I have to say about this, man. The reason why I like it is because everybody is doubted. And if I think you know anything about anybody who's been doubted, they fight back. Ain't nobody giving us no chance. They're not thinking about the Cowboys. They just kind of like, oh yeah, and we are goofy, but I think that the level of consistency of having someone that's been on the coaching staff, and even with Eberflus coming back, if he is coming back or not, I think that'll help as well. The main thing is we've been asking for the Cowboys to run the ball, but now we got a coach that want to do it.
Right.
And if we can play complementary football, and stay healthy, that's the main thing. If we can stay healthy and play complementary football, we'll see where it goes. But
it's gonna be good.
He comes with good pedigree, man. He got good pedigree, man. He got good pedigree, man. The main thing is, I think he's a leader of men. The main thing is, can he really rally everybody to be around him, and can we put the real pieces around him? I'm like you. I think we need to double dip at running back. I think if Gentry's there, I don't think you can pass up on him. But if he's not, you get Travion Henderson. You got Giddens, the guy from Kansas State. You can get the running back out of Rutgers. You got Neal out of Kansas. There's some good backs in this draft, man. And I think we need to double up with that Enrico and just and see how it goes, man. But we need a thumper, and we need somebody that can break it, man. So we'll see how it goes, man.
No, I feel
I'm kind of
good.
with you as the same with Savion Williams. I'm saying with Savion Williams too. I think we need to get him.
Yeah,
he needs a big body.
We need a big body. Him or
Look
Trey Harris.
Man. Yep. Yeah, Trey Harris is nice too.
Mm-hmm.
And also the other kid from Iowa State. He real big and tall too. We'll just see what happens, man. We just gotta see what happens, man. But it's cool. But I just like that nobody is counting on us. Everybody doubting us, and I want us to have that fighting spirit.
That's gonna keep him hungry. I like that.
Yeah.
Good point, Pastor. Good call.
Yeah, man. All right, man. You be blessed, man. I know you got a room full of callers.
No, you good. Thank you. Pastor always has excellent insight. Always. So let's get to the rest of this is a powerhouse. I would say these are the best. This is a powerhouse group. Sean, you live.
Let's go, Paul. I love it. Love, bro.
You like
Whenever I see, I'm asked by you, Drake, because when I tell you everybody hates it, they hate it. And when everybody hates something, and I agree with that, I love it. Because now, guess what? Now we get to actually be balanced.
Yes.
People don't understand. If you have a running game, can take over an entire playoff series. Not just a game, a series. A passing game, it can get you to a playoff game. But a running game and a defense, can get you to the Super Bowl. Go look at Philadelphia. There's no one receiver pissed off. There's no one receiver is literally pissed off. And they literally is in the NFC Championship game. Hey, boss, let me ask you a question. Do you want to be in an NFC Championship game? Do you want to be in a situation where you're watching your team not at home, but like actually playing in that game? I do. And I like when people go against. I hate trends. Trends get you in trouble real quick, real fast.
Real fast.
The right pick, the right situation is him. And then not having with it. When James Slater did that, I want to hit it back to him. I want to hold it in. I was like, thank you, Jesus, because now he gets to pick some of the people he wants to and how he wants to do things. And this is my final thing I'm going to say. If this man goes further or does something that we're not expecting to do, just know, everybody who was like, screw Brian Schottenheimer, don't switch up now, because I even have family members that's against this man. So I'm a one-man army right now by myself. So I'm just
saying, let him switch up, man. Let him switch up. Because people are emotional right now, bro. You feel me? Let's give everybody some time to digest this, bro. You know what I mean? For real, this is like the draft. You got to digest this, bro. You know what I mean? Everybody, like, we still raw, bro. Sure, say don't switch.
All right, boss. I understand that, but sometimes here's my issue. Here's my issue with the situation. So, the content creators, Foot, Tuck, most of the people, they tell things how it is right in front of us, and it's our pride in that 30 years of saying, hey, I don't want to believe it, or I'm out, I'm done, oh my gosh. And I understand it. Cool. I understand we're emotional. We didn't make the playoffs. It was a bad year. Dak got hurt. But, boss, think of the positive side. Look at what happened when we actually ran the ball with Cooper Rush or Trey Lance. You have Trey Lance outperforming Dave, who's in the NFC Championship game right now. So my thing and my take on it is this. I get it. Y'all want the flashy pick. Cool. I understand that. But sometimes you have to realize it's never the people that up top that'll get you somewhere. It's the people at the below. Because this is my quote of the day. Everybody has to start somewhere. You're not just famous out of nowhere. You have to start somewhere and build your way up. That's the type of person I want. I want someone that's low to the ground, that don't have to do all that, know how to speak, communicate, and be a leader of men. Guess what, boss? When every time we go into a playoff situation, this is the last thing I'm going to be done. Every time we go into a playoff situation, what do they always say? Oh, I'm nervous. Oh, my gosh, I don't know what to do. Sometimes you need a person to say, hey, guys, calm down. We're going to run the ball. We're going to control the situation, and then we'll get into the flow of the game instead of throw or just sit up here panicking out the gate when it's a playoff game situation.
Good call, bro.
So that's why I good call, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a good call. OC.
Yes, sir.
We got a full room, bro. You can you come back in about 15 minutes?
15? No, I cannot.
You can't.
No, absolutely not. So you want me or you don't want me, man?
No, we want you, bro. We want you. We just got the callers and you, bro. All right, hold on real quick. No.
Go ahead.
No, hold on real quick. Let me address something real quick. Hey, everybody that's on hold, y'all just hang out because we got to get this OC content in here, bro. I'm very curious on what he got to say. Don't hang up. Y'all hold on. Y'all just watch it on your phone and just stay with us. All right. So this is the thing. My boy Shut Dog, we talk a lot on Twitter. He said, Shotty so good, but no other teams interview him. Ja, don't fall for this, people. And brother, I really understand your concern, but that's actually not true. I'm just trying to put the right information out there, brother. Because he was actually turned down 3 head coaching interviews. So a lot of people have been saying that, and that's just, I verified that yesterday when I did the show, and I said as a bonus that I was go debunk some of the Shotty myths. He turned down 3 head coaching opportunities, brother. So other teams didn't want him. He was a hot coach before. And when he was with Seattle, that was when Seattle and had their greatest offense with less weapons than they have now. The greatest offense with less weapons was with him. And so, of course, nobody was going to offer a consultant a head coaching job because you wasn't doing nothing tangible to really boost you. Like if he would have been a play caller last year, oh yeah, he would have got plenty of calls. But ain't nobody go ring your phone when you was helping the play caller. So I just want us to be balanced. I ain't trying to make you look bad, bro. I just want to be balanced. OC, what's on your mind?
Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, this is a safe play for the Cowboys, but it's a safe and solid choice because the Cowboys have a degree of familiarity and comfortability that they like with their coaching staff and players. So everything runs together. This is a family business, and so I don't think he's a bad hire. I think he's a good, solid hire. Could they have got a bigger name? Could they have got a Deion Prime? Yes. I think they talked about that, but this time, the son won in that conversation. Could they have even took a run at a Pete Carroll? He has so much pedigree, Super Bowl winning coach, now the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, they could have, but they lose controls and it's not as comfortable, and they didn't want to turn everything over and start new. So this gives them the best of both worlds to get a good, solid head coach in there that, in my opinion, he is going to do a good job for you. And the reason why I say that is because he's a common sense coach. He's not, you're not probably going to hear us next year saying, that was so weird. he's going to have a very pragmatic approach. He's going to be common sense. He's going to make the most out of his best players, which one of will be Dak Prescott. And that's what he did in Seattle. He got the absolute best out of Russell Wilson. He only had one receiver that ran like a 4-5. And he was play action pass, ball control, taking my shots down the field on mismatches, versus nickel corners, things like that. And doing what he had to do and being a physical defense and a hard-hitting defense and an athletic defense and winning football games. So I think you'll see some of that cocktail with the Dallas Cowboys, similar to the success that the Seahawks had, which still gives us what we need in terms of a physical presence. Because if you're committed to running the football, one thing that it does, it toughens the offensive line and it toughens the front seven. It makes them very tough because you're running through this every single day and you got to get tough. So when you play other people, you're going to end up being really, really good dealing with physicality. So I think it's a good hire. I think that he'll do a good job, boss.
Why you got your hoodie on, bro?
Yeah, man, it's just that's the vibe, man. That's what I'm feeling tonight.
Okay, cause hoodie to us meant something was wrong, bro. So I thought you was gonna come in, cause hoodie OC mean you was coming to slap something. I was expecting something.
No, that's a fake move, man. That's fake. That's fake. It's a fake move tonight. I'm not doing that tonight.
Okay.
I think that this is even. I think this is a solid, good hire by them. And I think the Cowboys are running out of time. You had all these coaches getting hired coming off the board, so to speak. We talk about the draft. You got all these coaches coming off the board. They didn't have time to keep waiting and twiddling their thumbs and going slow and interviewing this guy and that guy because the quality of pool of candidates dried up pretty quickly unless you're going out there and you're getting somebody like a Deion Sanders.
What would you say to the people that think we tripping right now?
I think that, listen, your voice matters. That's why we talk about these things. If you think we're tripping, that's cool. I do want you to put it in the chat, though. Why are we tripping? And give us your perspective, right? Because you may have something that we have not seen, right?
Yeah. You might see something we don't see.
Right, or you may have a perspective that we don't have, but if I look at the 20 plus years of coaching experience, I look at the coaching pedigree, I look at the good job that he's done working underneath Mike McCarthy. I don't think that, I'm not saying he is God's gift. I think that he's going to do a good solid job and he satisfies the Cowboys' comfort level of not starting over and turning over everything and starting with a brand new regime, which I don't think Jerry wanted to do. I don't think he wants to do that. So, and I don't think that Jerry even anticipated that Mike McCarthy would walk away from the table when he tried to sell him an ideal of having Jason Witten as an understudy of the heir apparent. I don't think that he anticipated that. So I think, it's a culmination of things that got us to this point. And that's where I think we are.
And see, my brother say, and this is okay. He said, yeah, y'all tripping. We want you to put why. We can't address it unless you say why. We can't.
Yeah.
You can't just tell us why and then we'll talk about it. And we being patient because we understand it's a lot of anger out there. We're not trying to beat up nobody for having an opinion or a thought. We just want to have a productive conversation. You know what I'm saying?
And I would challenge you. I would challenge you to do something else if you disagree, and if you think that, hey, we just tripping out. Hey, maybe we could be, but who? Because I'm thinking who could have. I'm not gonna say could. I'm gonna say who would the Cowboys get instead of him? That's available right now. Who would they get? Who? That's what I want to know. Who? Because I'm thinking, who would it be? And if you got some ideas about that's cool. You know what I mean? That's fine.
So, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about it. Then we go talk about real quick. And say, everybody that was in my phone queue, my phone just died. So, I'm so sorry, y'all. We can't do the phones. So, I'm sorry. So anyway, this is the thing I want to say about observing Brian Schottenheimer. I have the evidence here that I was saying 2 years ago in training camp in Frisco that his leadership presence was obvious. Law was the first person to say it. I didn't believe it. I always go look for myself, OC. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
The OC the same way. Like, we'll say it, but we got to see it first, right? So when I was in training camp, I was watching him. He was popping off. And he was directly involved with Dak, Cooper Rush, offensive line, receivers. I saw him working with everybody. His leadership presence was so obvious, you know? So, and I said it on camera 2 years ago. So, Cowboy Nation, I get it. I know a lot of y'all mad. We not trying to hype you up. If we was trying to sell you on him as a candidate, we wouldn't have said stuff way before it happened. So I'm gonna give you one example, and I'm gonna be done with this. I believe he already in the building. I believe the tweak is already amongst us. Hold on real quick. Let me start over. Because I was talking about we could be one tweak away from greatness. And I was talking about offensive play calling. Listen. Yeah. So to me, this is where OC, what's the date on that?
January 2nd, 2025.
So that's obviously way before he was announced as a candidate. You can go try to get your young hot shot. I believe he in the building. I believe he already in the building. So if we was doing content, OC, to try to give y'all fake optimism, why was we saying this when nobody was even talking about him as a candidate, OC?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, hey, everybody has their own identity perspective about what's right and wrong. But, obviously we're sharing with you ours here. And, if you go and look back, it was some other content put out about him when he first got in the building, on this particular channel. So I think that he really gives you the best of both worlds in terms of what the Cowboys want. And I'm putting a quotation around that, in terms of what the Cowboys want,
right,
in terms of what the Cowboys will feel comfortable with.
Right.
And I think that's the part that we got to keep in mind, that sometimes it escapes us, right? We think that, man, just go get this, go get Deion Sanders, go get Pete Carroll, which are both not bad ideals.
Yeah, good ideas.
They're not bad ideas.
Yeah.
Right? But if you look at the Cowboys' track record, kind of what they do, how they operate, their comfort level, is that something that they would do? And history shows that that's not the type of moves that they do. Right. Even though we all believe as the fans that, hey, that'd be a great move. Yeah, and I agree with you too, right? But we're giving you context and perspective of what you work with. It's like it's like if you got a woman in your life, or you got a man in your life, and you say it'd be great if my husband brought flowers home every day, but when he gives you a call for your birthday and take you out to eat, like, that's his flowers. Like that's the kind of stuff he does, right? You want your wife to clean up all the time, and she's just not that kind of girl, but she cooked dinner for you twice in 1 week. That's her way of cleaning up. That's her way of saying. So you got to look at the personality type and kind of what they feel comfortable with. And that's all we're saying. We're saying that based upon what's out there, this is a comfort move, because he's not old. It's Mike McCarthy.
No.
Right? He's not young as a hot shot. He's right in the middle, right? He's a tweener. He's right in the sweet spot of being young enough to have the energy, but not old enough to where he's completely he doesn't have the energy and not able to really perform. And the thing I like about him is this. I'm gonna tell you what I like about him is that he's a competitive guy. It's super clear he's competitive, and he's a guy.
He's competitive.
He's competitive. He's a competitive dude. He's a guy that has championship pedigree, and he's a guy that knows how to build a roster, from what I've seen, even from his time in Jacksonville, to be very competitive and win. And that's what I really like about him. And like I said, I think he's going to be fundamentally sound. And I think, Boss, he may secretly give us what we want. I think he go hire some dog assistants. That's what I think. I think he go actually hire some dog assistants, and that's what we need in some of these rooms.
And then Dante Fowler Sr. So this is Dante Fowler Jr.'s dad. So, you know, his son.
How you doing, Mr. Fowler? Good to
how you
see
doing,
bro.
Mr. Fowler? Coach Fowler.
Coach Fowler, yes, sir.
So Coach Fowler, obviously appreciate you always coming in the building. I want y'all to understand the weight of what Coach Fowler is saying. He said quietly he is like DQ. He may be a good hire, a leader of men. And so now Coach Fowler doesn't play. His son plays. So he's not saying that based on his opinion. He's saying that because he obviously talking to his son and getting that opinion. Like, you know, what you think of him? It's like, yeah, he a leader of men. So he telling us likely what he hearing. Or maybe what he saw at training camp himself, like I did. He might have saw it like I did. But either way, here's somebody to me that's also reliable. If anybody know Coach Fowler shoots you straight, very straight, you know. He's a very straight shooter. Like, I saw him call out his own son on our watch parties. You know what I mean? Just calling it straight. So anyway, like again, I did see something, OC, that did concern me.
Okay.
About Schottenheimer. You know, I was looking at his play calling, and one of the things that concerned me is that 82% of the time he was passing when they was in 11 personnel. That was one of the things that kind of, because basically he was giving away his passing tendencies with his packages. So he making it, I did see a tendency from looking at his tendencies to where I think he can kind of get in a rhythm that makes him predictable. But he's not gonna be the play caller, but me being honest on some negative things that I saw about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in terms of leader of men, in terms of watching and knowing firsthand that these players get behind him, I think it's good.
Yeah, and I want to talk about what you said, because it could be some of the Pete Carroll in him, okay? Because Pete Carroll was the guy famously said that, hey, plays overrated, players win games. So Pete Carroll had the emphasis on the players, had the emphasis on having the right dudes, Marshawn Lynch, or, you know, Russell Wilson at his peak, a physical offensive line, a very talented defense. They only ran cover 2 and cover 3, 4-3 defense, never changed. Never changed, boss. And was beating the snot out of people. So if he is from that philosophy, he's more like, yeah, we go line up here and we go do this, but we're better than you and you can't stop us. Let's even take a page out of our nemesis, right? Who we've not been able to beat, the San Francisco 49ers. We know when they line up an overload. We know the formation. Even the fans know the formation. If you pay attention enough, you know exactly. If it's the power zone your butt, they go power zone your butt. You know the play is coming, but can you stop it? So I think it's some power in that if you have the right personnel. And I think that, but to your point, when you face teams that can match your personnel, you have to be deliberate and not be as predictable.
A couple of things we got to get into that everybody go want to talk about. Al Harris, Eberflus, they saying was announced as our defensive coordinator. So we got to get into that. And then third, the influence of Jerry and Steven on Brian. I think we got to cover all three before we get out of here. So let's start with Al Harris.
Well, I'll let you go first, boss.
No, I'll let you go first.
I mean,
please.
Al Harris is a good defensive backs coach, man. I mean, I'll be short on that. He's a good coach, man. You know, he teaches guys, you know, bumping and run. That's what he did in his career, man. He could bump and run. He could play off. He could play man. He did it all, man. And so great career and a good defensive back coach, man. And that, I mean, that's what I think. Other than that, I don't really have a lot to say about Al Harris, man. I think he's a good coach, man. I mean, unless you got some details that I'm not aware of, which you probably do. But I think he's a good coach, man. I think in the secondary tight role, I think he could be great.
My opinion on first of all, Coach Fowler said he observed Shotty lead of men from what he saw. That's even better.
Right.
That's even better. So basically, he observed it too. So like I see him leading the men. Listen, y'all. I know a lot of people want to be mad, but we gonna be right on this. We gonna be right on this.
Yeah.
And that mean it's good news, Cowboy Nation. Listen, we not lying to y'all. Al Harris. I'm seeing a trend. It looked like our coaches seem to be running away from a toxic environment.
Yeah.
That just, I was thinking about what Dan Quinn said when we didn't get Bobby Wagner. I ain't never forget it. And I did a video and I said Dan Quinn is leaving. I said it a year before he left. Because he said, in terms of me going after Mike McCarthy job, y'all ain't got to worry. I'm not coming around that corner and I'm not taking no questions on it. And he was basically saying, I don't want to be Dallas head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody said nothing. I was like, did y'all just see that? Like, he basically said, I don't even want to be head coach here. It's a lot of obvious signs of the toxicity, right? Al Harris was trying to leave to go with Dan Quinn last year. They had to block him.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Witt dream job was to be our defensive coordinator. And when he got a chance, he didn't even interview. He darted out to be with Dan Quinn. Then you got Bones, right? Goes to Tennessee. Small market Tennessee. You got Mike McCarthy, who had guaranteed millions in hand.
Mm-hmm. No, thank you.
So that's what I think about with Al Harris.
Yeah.
And then I was hoping we had Zimmer back because he could coach the secondary. With Eberflus. So, what's your thoughts on that?
I said this, man, earlier this week, man. I think that I think culture matters in companies, man, and the smartest companies always think about how to manage their employees and how to build dynamic teams where people are empowered. There was something I saw, which was really, really good, just around workplace stuff. What's up, Pat, man? Good to see you. What's good? Look, people don't leave companies, man. They leave toxic bosses, bad environments, no growth opportunities. It was something along those lines. So people leave bad environments. And I think that, it's an element of toxicity with the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that, it's only a certain type of people that can deal with that long term. People will take it for the money. But, I think that it's some definite things that they could do better to help the culture, man. And I don't know much about the guy that you say is a new defense coordinator. I don't know much about him. I don't even know much about this guy. So you have to take the lead on that. I have to do my research on that. But I don't know much about him at all.
Solid. He was solid linebackers coach with us. Linebackers always played great under him. He wanted to be D coordinator. He couldn't get that because Rod Marinelli was in the way. So then he went and became the coach defensive coordinator, and the coach defense was crazy. So he showed that at least he know how to coach linebackers, and he looked like he know how to lead a D. It looked like when he stepped into head coach, he got over his head. You know what I'm saying? So I feel good about Eberflus because it's almost like Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was a great D coordinator, tried head coach. It was good. Then it went bad. Then he ended up being amazing defensive coordinator again. You know, I think that's going to kind of be like with Eberflus. Eberflus was a really good D coordinator. You know, I just don't think he was a good head coach. And that might not have been his fault, because you know how it is. Sometimes you go to teams and they front office, they ain't got their stuff together. They books off, right? You know, they can't acquire talent. They're toxic. They're political. But then you got to manage Chicago. You know what I mean? And so I like it. I'm just feel like we got a void in our secondary now without Al Harris and without Zimmer. So we now have an emergency, in my opinion, at the secondary. An emergency.
I wouldn't worry about emergency, man. I think there's other potential ways to solve that problem with secondary and DB coaches. I'm sure that they'll come up with something. And if he's a D coordinator and he was good at coaching linebackers, and let's just say front seven, then I think that he probably has somebody in mind, and that's going to fall in his lap. And, you know, that's a part of his job, is to find somebody that's good, especially because you got some talent in our secondary. And Dan Quinn did do a good job allowing to get some talented dudes in the building. So you got some dudes that can play. And really, if you got some dudes that can play, when healthy, the biggest thing you need is a dude that doesn't mess it up. That's
right.
Just common sense, and he doesn't come in and mess it up. These guys are pros, right? You need to line them up and teach them, you know, tendencies. Y'all cover film. You go through your drills. You go through your sets. You go through your calls, and you let these dudes play. These dudes are Pro Bowlers, man. Most of these dudes are professionals, so you ain't dealing with a bunch of young dudes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that'll be okay, because the biggest thing you got to do is really not mess it up. They can play. They can play just fine.
Right.
That's what I think. So that's actually to his benefit.
Yeah, man. So I said we was gonna talk about Harris, Eberflus, and we was gonna talk about Jerry and Steve and the influence over Brian.
Oh yeah. You know that was in the contract. It's clause B on the last paragraph. We have permission to meddle at all times, sir. Sign here. Absolutely. You're not getting it, and that's what I was alluding to earlier, that it has to be a cultural fit for the Cowboys. The Cowboys want to be comfortable with you, and they want to know that they can puppet master you a little bit, and they can influence what you do. That they have control. It's all about control. That they have control over what you do to a degree, and I think that that's a part of it. But however, I do think that I do sense they have a respect for him, and that he impressed them, and that, okay, you know, he told them, hey man, this is what you need to do, right, to win, right? This is what you need to do, and this is what we didn't do, and this is where things went wrong, right? And they go give him rope to pull it out. You know, they're going to give him rope to kind of correct some things. But yeah, it's going to be always an element of no separation of football operations and running the Cowboys business.
Did they announce Witten?
No, I didn't see nothing about Witten.
God, please no. My boy Q-Dog said, don't be surprised if Leslie Frazier is the secondary coach. That is his specialty. He's responsible for the Bills. See, I like what you're saying, because Tyrone Church was doing a good job of really educating me on Leslie. And the more I looked at Leslie, the more I like Leslie. For real. Yeah. Like the staff might be coming together, man. The staff might be coming together, man. Like for real. Like we might be sleeping on the staff a little bit. This staff, I think head coach was actually an improvement. I take Mike McCarthy years of wisdom, but I all the way take Brian wanting the desire to be balanced. Oh, they saying no plans for Witten.
Yeah, they learned from Mike McCarthy walking away. They said, man, we can't do that. We can't tell them to sign the Trojan horse. Here, I'm a Trojan horse. Come right in the building here. I'm gonna give you right here. Yeah,
thank you.
This guy right here, he'll take your job, but we gonna pay you for a couple years. he's gonna take your job. How does that sound? How does that sound?
He
Who's
walked
not
out.
here?
He walked out.
Man, my
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Hey.
One more time, OC. One more time. One more time.
Oh, you want Witten? You want me to mentor Witten? Oh, he's the heir apparent to me. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. No, this interview's over. Hey. That's what Big Mike did. Hey, that's how it went.
That's how it went.
Mike did. That's what Big Mike did, man. That's what Big Mike did. I said, oh, thank you. I got enough of this. I got a 25 mil. I'm straight. Thank you. You know, okay, there was a movie. There was this old movie, and I forget the name of this movie, man. But this guy, he was like the baseball manager of like the Indians, man.
Yeah.
And the media bust in there, and they was taking a shower.
Yeah.
And he's an old dude with a belly, and he just turned around and sat there and looked at him. And he was like, what? And the lady's just with her eyes up. She's looking all uncomfortable because he's sitting there, with butt naked. And he's slow getting his towel and everything. And they look, well, sir, you ain't gonna cover up. He said, you bust in here. I'm too old to be running around hiding. That's what Mike McCarthy did. Mike McCarthy said, I'm too old for this.
Man.
I'm too old for this, man.
Witten.
I'm too old for this.
See, that means somebody listening. Because I kept saying, bro, I said it today. I said, bro, ain't no coach go take y'all serious as long as Whitney is in y'all playing. Because everybody know why he there. Everybody know why Mike McCarthy walked away. Everybody know he's a trap. There's no way you could take Whitney as a coach and then people take you serious. It's just, damn, I'm glad somebody in that building got common sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, bro, everybody starts somewhere. Like, you can't, and you can come in a building as an assistant with someone. Like, you could come in as an assistant underneath an assistant. Like, Will keep around. He's going to be the assistant tight ends coach. That makes sense.
That would have made sense.
That he's going to be an assistant tight end coach.
Yeah.
To the
but
head
to
move
Linda Wells.
Right.
Nah.
Move him down.
What?
Get rid of him.
Put him on the offensive line. What?
Put him on the offensive line. Let me be the tight end coach / part-time OC so I can learn on the job. Then after that, I'm going to move up in the company and I'm going to be the head coach now. Come on, man. That makes sense, man. Please stop doing crazy stuff, man.
Chris 214 say, hashtag no Kellen Moore was a success. Your voice matters.
Yeah.
Listen, shout out to everybody that pushed that no Kellen Moore. Shout out to everybody. Hey, listen, we shot Kellen to the floor. So, and I said, me and Star, we go have some drinks this week on that. I say, listen, we got a lot of football to talk about. We got a lot of problems. We go try to fix it in this offseason. But I said, we got to celebrate that. We got to celebrate because that would have wasted at least 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Because they would have kept giving him chances and chances because he would have been. Oh, see, I got one more thing, bro. One.
Yeah.
Mike Solari. Okay, so you came in a little bit late. I felt like Mike Solari might not be getting in first shape. And I want to hear me out on this.
Huh?
What did they do in preseason? If you remember. They tried to feature Trey Lance.
Yeah.
So they was throwing the ball 38 times. In his last preseason game, he had 60 pass attempts. I asked, how do you work on your run fits in preseason?
Right.
So then We know they started off pass happy at the early part of the year. How do you work on your run fits? So
You don't throw the ball all the time.
If you're throwing, so I was saying when they started to run the ball, the offensive line got better. Is Mike Solari getting a bad rap right now? Are we rushing him out the door, or is he really got to go? Is he really trash? Like people saying.
I think that initially he tried to change too much with these guys' techniques, and I think it hurt us early on. I do think that. I from the bottom of my heart, I do think that with Terrence Steele in particular. But then you could look at it and just say, man, Terrence Steele just didn't play good, right? You can look at that and say that too. But I think that some of his stuff, it looks like it just wasn't what I had used to seeing him do technically, right? Unless he was trying some other stuff or something, some other variable, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Now, when I look at even Tyler's, Tyler plays with so much power, but technically coming off the ball, how he was squaring up people, it was a little bit different. I think that it takes a young offensive line time to gel. I think it takes a unit time to gel. And I think the commitment to the run helped them gel. I don't know. It's hard. I have to go back and study tape on this, boss, to be really fair, okay? But I'm going to say I don't know if that's Mike Solari or not.
Yeah, that's where I am.
I can't tell. I can't tell, right? Because the running the ball and getting some confidence by being able to run the ball at the end of the year, that helps out a lot. That fixes a lot of problems, right? It really does. So I'm going to say based on what happened earlier in the season, I don't like it. But at the end, it got better. So I'm going to say, I don't know. I'm going to say if he stays, I'm okay. If he goes, I'm definitely okay. That's where I am. If they don't, they let, whatever, I'm okay. But I don't want to give him credit, right? But I don't want to give him all the blame 100%. But some of it is his fault, I would say.
And then my boy Byron Stevens say, no one won Schottenheimer. That's a fact. Byron, and I'm saying this respectfully. That's not a fact. He turned down 3 head coaching opportunities. It's not a fact. That's a popular rumor, but it's not a fact. Okay, so, and I keep saying this. I get that we upset. I think Brian Schottenheimer is a lot of stuff out there on him that's just not true. You know what I mean? He was a hot coach. Let me just show y'all this, and then we go give our final words, okay? I'm gonna show y'all this one thing that it might help you see him in the right light, or I think in a fair light. I found this yesterday. Check this out, OC. This is so funny. I found this yesterday, bro. Give me 1 second. Look at this.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this isn't comparing apples to apples.
Now, this is Seattle. This is a Seattle podcast, right? Mm-hmm. Notice what they saying about Schottenheimer.
Because Russell Wilson was prime Russell Wilson during his 3 years as the quarterback in Brian Schottenheimer's offense. But I think you could make the argument that he became prime Russell Wilson because of Brian Schottenheimer and taking his game to another level. We remember that first part of the 2020 season where he was on a historic tear. A lot of that had to do with what Brian Schottenheimer was dialing up as the play caller and some of the things that he did to help with his fundamentals that took him to another level. And we know he sputtered at the end of the season that year. There were some other factors that impacted that. And maybe Russell Wilson was starting to decline a little bit at that point. But I thought those 3 seasons, to me, Brian Schottenheimer's been the best play caller the Seahawks have had. And that's not taking a shot at Darrell Bevell, who did some good things in Seattle. But you look at the numbers, and across the board, the Seahawks had their best offense in the 3 years that Brian Schottenheimer was the OC. In fact, you compare these two coaches, Shane Waldron and Brian Schottenheimer, there's a lot more red on Shane Waldron's chart. That is not a good thing. That means that your offense ranks between 21 and 32 in the NFL in that category, meaning you're in the bottom third. The Seahawks right now, most meaningful offensive categories, they are either at the very back of the yellow group or they are in the red. And you look at what Brian Schottenheimer did his 3 seasons in Seattle. There were only 2 examples where the Seahawks were in the bottom third in anything on offense, and they were mostly in the green, including being a top 10 scoring offense every single season that Brian Schottenheimer was the offensive coordinator. So again, you can look at these circumstances, and there's some differences. Geno Smith versus Russell Wilson, obviously, but you could
watch this point he make right here, OC.
Could also make the argument that Shane Waldron's got 3 seasons with prime DK Metcalf, still in his prime Tyler Lockett, and now you've added Jackson Smith and Jigba and the tight ends they've got. I think the Seahawks have more offensive weapons. They've got 2 really good running backs too. And you can make an argument of the offensive line being better than what it was when Brian Schottenheimer was here. But I think at the end of
So Brian did more with less.
the day that this is a move the Seahawks are going to look back, if they're not already regretting the decision to let go of Brian Schottenheimer. Thursday night has a
Ain't that funny? So Cowboys don't want him. Then you go over Seattle and they over there missing him.
Yeah.
Ain't that funny?
And what you see with him, that's why I said we're not gonna get on shows this season and tell you, oh man, that didn't really make sense. It's like, no, you know what he's gonna do. He's gonna be committed to running that ball. He's gonna be committed to scoring the ball. He's gonna pass when necessary and take advantage of mismatches. He's gonna do what I call, and this is not a slight. This is a compliment. Okay, he's gonna give you common sense football.
That's what I feel.
He gonna give you common sense football. He gonna be solid.
Yeah.
He gonna be solid. He gonna be pragmatic. He gonna be, it's physical. It's football. That's why you hit and tackle. It's not flag. So that's what he gonna do. He's gonna run that football. That's the thing. You're gonna be one of the better running teams in the league, which is gonna help Dak Prescott a lot. Which is one of the reasons I'm okay with the hire. It's gonna help. It's gonna help your franchise quarterback a lot.
Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about?
I agree. And I think it's perfect. This dude say one man's trash is another man's treasure. Yeah. And listen, y'all, this is one thing I think why people respect this channel. Because we go out our way to try to show you receipts. That's very important to the OC. That's very important to me. That we give you the truth and we document. Like, we not somebody that turn on the camera and just start spewing opinions. You know what I mean? We doing a better job of really respecting the differences that sometimes y'all have with us, but just respect that too, So I'm gonna give my final words on this. All right?
Yeah.
It's been bumpy. It's been bumpy. It's been ugly. It's some things about the Dallas Cowboys that's truly frustrating. They fumbled, and they've been fumbling bad. I would say this is like an ugly game, but it's almost winnable. You feel me on that, OC? It's like watching an ugly game, but you still in it. That's kind of how this feels. You know what I mean? Where you fumbling all over, you dropping balls, you offsides, but you're only down by 3. Right. So it's good and bad. It's good and bad. Now, most of us, because this game is ugly, we calling all of it bad. I really honestly don't think all of it is bad. I don't. And if you've been following this channel, you know that I would tell you. You know that I would tell you, because usually I'm the guy that get on people's nerves, because I'm the one that's going to say, look out for this, look out for that. And I'll be saying that as we're winning. You know what I mean? So this time, I'm literally the opposite. I'm the bearer of good news. And OC, it actually feels good this time to really be able to say, you know what, Cowboy Nation? Yeah, and I know you tried to stay on the phone common sense. What happened is my phone died. Or we would have been taking calls by now. I apologize about that, bro. That's what I'm showing you. Is my phone died. So anyway, I feel good about this. I think the Dallas Cowboys are trying to come back in terms of, if I was using this as a game analogy, they trying to get back in the game, because you got to get these coaches right if you go even have a chance to have the players right when they start trying to get them in the off season. So The coaching is done. The head coach is done. I feel good about it. Most people feel bad about it. I respect it either way. And we're going to see how it play out, man. That's my final word.
Yeah, man. So I think that, Shotty is going to do a solid job for the Cowboys. I'm going to go on record at that. Can I promise Super Bowl? Can I promise, elite greatness? I think that will hinge on two things. The strength of the roster in terms of how they fill out the roster in the offseason and the draft. And then number two, I think that it's going to contingent on how he fills out the rest of this coaching roster. So coaching and the roster. If you get a strong roster and you get the rest of those coaches properly hired, the Cowboys actually will sneak up on some people and do some damage when you're not expecting a lot from the Cowboys next year. That's my final thoughts on that, guys. And so, hey, man, don't forget also, man, to follow, like, share, and subscribe. Sharing is caring. All right, follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and now X or Twitter. You can follow me, the OC100, on X. All right, so until next time, unless Boss got something else. Salute.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters.
Look, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets that taught me, moving too bossy, we don't tread softly, but not flossy, the streets that taught me, I'm just trying to get my nigga paid. We came from Section 8, and I knew I was at since the second grade. Man, I swear my time is coming, cause I'm never late. Came from broken homes and broken dreams to getting paid. Dollar bill, listen close, this is not a drill. Cause hungry trying to get a meal. I've been in light, who gon' pay a bill? I've been in action, been in traction, surplus with niggas lacking, shining light but still be blacking, red lights will stop the action, green to go, even when it's slow. Higher heights to balance out the low.